Hey everyone, it's Tay from the R Anime Podcast, and you know what that means. That's right, today's episode is brought to you by our friends over at Sentai Filmworks and HIDIVE. Sentai Filmworks is the premier anime licensing company in North America, bringing over titles from Japan to your home. Whether it's through Blu-ray box sets or merch like apparel, posters, and even skate decks, all of which you can find at SentaiFilmworks.com. Check them out, they've got sales going on all the time, and you can cop hypebeast goods like this Senpai hoodie I've got on right now, which is super comfortable, and I love wearing it when I'm recording podcasts or watching anime on HIDIVE. And yes, we love them. You love them. We all love HIDIVE, which is either the best anime streaming service of all time or the greatest human invention ever. They've got everything from seasonals, including dubcasts and classics, and yes, even uncensored anime. And you can find them at HIDIVE.com and on Android and iOS devices, on the Xbox and the Roku. And if you sign up through our new URL we have below, that's hidive.com/LP/RA2020, #NewU, #NewURL, you can get through your first month of HD streaming anime on demand for free. And because they're amazing, we're also partnering with them to give one of our lucky listeners, that's you by the way, 3 free months of HIDIVE. All you have to do to enter is leave a comment in this video below and subscribe to us, or if you want another entry, you can go to Tokyo Podfathers on Twitter, retweet the link to this episode, and follow us, Sentai Filmworks, and HIDIVE Official. Thanks so much, keep it easy breezy, and warning, the following episode contains spoilers, as well as coarse language. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to the R Anime Podcast, brought to you by Tokyo Podfathers. So we're here, first podcast of the decade, talking about the new 2020 anime season. Can you guys believe that? I cannot hang with that. So we have Sinris Goat over here. What's going on?
Hey, I'll take that introduction.
Nice. I gotta start off strong for the new decade. And then we have the classic Mozilla Fennekin.
Salamat pagi.
Don't know what you said, but thank you. And we are joined by one of my favorite people of all time, one of the OG Weeaboomers, Lisa Wallen.
You got it. Hi.
I got it.
Yes,
First try. Good job, Shaw.
First try.
Lisa Wallen, whatever you want to call me. I'll take Goat, though. Goat Lisa works.
Goat Lisa. I'm looking at you with the Louis AV, and I was like, damn, he's a deer. He's a deer, but he's my goat.
Yeah, he is. He's like a goat deer, and he's very angry in that habit.
He's so angry. So you're also the host of the best podcast name of all time, Kawaii 5-0. So want to give a plug to that.
Yeah. Yes, thank you. Even though a lot of people don't understand the pun unless they're anime fans. They're like, I don't get it. What's the 5? And I'm like...
Wait, they're asking about the 5, not the kawaii part?
Yeah, they're like, what's 5? What's the 5? What are you talking about 5 different things? I'm like, wow, you did not grow up with parents, apparently.
you are an orphan.
Hawaii 5-0 is.
That's amazing that the Japanese part is less confusing than the 90s reference.
Yeah, but it's a good pun. I'm sure there's other Kawaii 5-0 media out there, but there's no podcast, so that's all mine.
Yeah, and it's a great podcast. I really enjoy listening to it, so keep up the good work, and thanks for joining us on ours.
Of course, thank you. I'm glad you enjoy it. It's a new project, so and we haven't killed each other yet, so that's good.
That's always a win.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're here because it's winter 2020. And we have a lot of shows to talk about.
We've seen a lot of stuff because we have 2020 vision.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Amazing joke.
Thank you, Fate.
Doing this podcast.
Thanks for having me. Bye, guys.
End of podcast.
That was it. Yeah, we have a lot of interesting shows. I was going over the list, and it's kind of like all these really niche shows, and they're all niche in very different ways. So we got a lot of interesting ones. Hopefully you guys have seen them all, but if not, we'll have timestamps below. But first, we're starting off with the most viral opening of the season, and that's, of course, for Eizouken. So... Is that not it?
It's like the girls' locker room dance.
Yeah. It's like the charm of Easy Breezy is that the music is so weird, I couldn't possibly recreate it with my mouth.
Yeah, what's the, like, the what, I can't do it. It's really weird. Yeah, it's such a fun opening, and it's such a fun show. I'm really happy that something that's so like weird is kind of going viral. I know people have credited it with bringing back Demolition D, which is considered a great task. So that's something, but it's also just going viral in general, which is always something good to see with anime openings.
What is Demolition D?
Say that again.
What?
Demo D. Do you guys not know him?
I know who Demo is, but what does Eizouken have to do with it?
The first video he posted in like a couple years was him clowning on the not clowning on the opening, but he made a post of it. Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Okay.
Yeah. I was like, wait, is his name not Demo?
Demo is a legendary YouTuber.
Got it. Sounds like the kind of thing I wouldn't know.
I freaked out for a second because I was like, wait a minute, I'm not. Is it me? Am I the boomer? Is this it? Like
the only YouTubers I know are the ones that I'm friends with, or the ones that people shit on Twitter.
Yeah. So he just posted like a mini shit post of it, but people were like, "Oh my god, Demo!" And it's like, "Oh, it brought him back." He's probably not back. He probably just wanted to post a shit post, which we all do sometimes. So I feel that, but yeah, it's kind of cool that it's just kind of going so viral. What do you guys think about it beyond the opening?
It's like. Well, I was gonna say the opening is like the torture dance of 2020.
Yeah.
That's a comparison I've been seeing a lot.
I like is it Yuasa's art style is just very flowy and beautiful, and I love how the animation it sticks to the story very well because like all the sounds that they make is like them making the sounds when they go into like the animation parts. It's really imaginative. I like it. It's a fun watch.
Yeah, I mean, Yuasa does like literally everything well, but one of the things he like very notably does very well is sound design. Like his soundtracks are always amazing. His openings and endings are always amazing. Like, he's so good at literally all aspects of anime production. And I actually saw, apparently he gave an interview wherein he said that the reason he made this show is that one day he was Googling his own name and he stumbled across just like a random forum post of someone talking about the Eizouken manga and saying, this series would be so great for a Yuasa anime.
And he was just like, yeah, I'll do it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I started that too. That's like one of the best stories because it's like, you mean I can just shitpost and they'll see it and then they'll do it.
Well, probably not us because we're not Japanese.
Who cares about us?
Yeah. We'll learn kanji and then start writing, this director should do this show and then see how that goes.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, please have a JoJo Beach episode. There you go. See if Araki does that.
That would be amazing. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's such a fun show. It looks so cool. And as you said, Sin, it's got such a cool sound design. I was just thinking back to how when he did Ping Pong the animation, you know, when Smile would move and he would have that robot motif, you would actually hear the sounds of like robots moving. So thinking back to that, I didn't notice it immediately when watching this, but I was like, yeah, the sound design is really cool.
It did actually take until someone pointed it out for me to realize that all of the sound effects and the imagination sequences were like being made with their mouths. Yeah.
Yeah, it's such a cool idea too. I don't know if this is bad of me to think that everything making anime is just kind of related to Shirobako, but I kind of think of it almost as like, this is Yuasa's like crazy imaginative way of making Shirobako, but you know, it's like obviously different because it's not the same type of story. But I like seeing more anime production type shows.
Yeah, well, it's really informative too, because you actually learn a lot about how the animation process works, which I love, which is really cool.
Yeah. The scene in the first episode where they're at the screening for the anime club, and the main character, who's Asakusa, is just going off about how like all the tiny details that like create the illusion of motion is really, really cool just to like watch what they're watching and like read what she's saying. And you can tell that like obviously like the person writing this dialogue like loves the art form, and B, that they know what they're talking about. It opened up my eyes so much to like little details that I've never noticed, but once they're pointed out, I can like see what she means in what's on screen, but also realize that like, oh, all of the shows I've seen that like look like shit don't do this.
Yeah.
And that's why they look bad.
Yeah, exactly. Like when she's talking about I guess it was supposed to be like Future Boy Conan when he was running on the giant spaceship, and she was saying how it looks unrealistic, but then they make it look realistic even though it shouldn't be. And then you see later in the episode when they have their cool dragonfly space chase, you're like, oh yeah, that's what they're doing here. Like these two things shouldn't really mesh, but they make them mesh really well. Yeah. Some cool stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see like where the story goes. Like if it's just gonna keep being like kind of like episodic where they just do different types of animations, or are they gonna eventually make like a movie? That's what I'm excited for.
Yeah, that would be awesome. And I appreciate all the little dabbing on like anime fans where it's like, so if I was joining a film club, you'd let me do it, but I can't join it because it's anime club. And the guy's like, yep, that's it exactly. I was like, relatable.
You know something I really like about it? I don't know if this is just shit posting culture kind of ingrained in my head, but so there's like a common joke, I guess, where people say that Ed, Ed, and Eddie is a Yuasa show.
I've said that so many times. I feel so bad.
And honestly, watching Eizouken kind of took me back to those days of watching like Cartoon Network shows.
Yeah.
It just didn't really, I mean, even though it's about anime and all, it didn't necessarily feel like anime. And it just had this nice, imaginative, childish vibe to it. It just felt so nice, honestly.
No, I totally feel that. Yeah, and whenever it's yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing with Yuasa is that like no two of his shows feel the same.
Yeah.
You know, like they all have completely different styles, both in terms of like tone and subject matter and also visual appearance. With the exception of like Tatami Galaxy and Night is Short, Walk On Girl, because those are kind of like pseudo sequels.
Yeah, they're like kind of in the same cinematic universe, if you will.
Right. But yeah, like Yuasa got his start as like a name in anime working on like Crayon Shinchan.
Yeah.
And so his background is in like kind of more like lighthearted
literal child cartoons.
Yeah, right. So you can feel that influence coming through here, as well as in like one of his movies that came out a couple years ago, Lou Over the Wall. Is like a very, very kids movie.
Very whimsical.
Yeah. So I think if anything he's done before is most similar to Eizouken, it's definitely Lou.
Yeah.
But it just in terms of his history with like TV anime, he's always done like very serious, mature kind of shows. You know, like Tatami Galaxy is a comedy, but it's a comedy about like being depressed and fucking up your life and wanting to change things.
Yeah.
And that you have like Ping Pong is like a super heavy drama. Devilman is like brutal.
Yeah.
But this is just like, it's just like a cute, fun show. And it's definitely the most accessible thing that Yuasa has ever done, which is exciting.
I think it's the easiest to understand too.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Because I watched Tatami Galaxy like twice, and I was like, I still kind of don't really know what's going on.
Yeah, and they're definitely not speaking as fast as Tatami Galaxy, so that's a win. I will always do that. Yeah.
It's just a very easy anime to get through. It was easy to explain too, I think, out of most of the anime that's going on right now.
Yeah. We're gonna have an interesting time with that. There's so many out there shows, which is a good thing in my opinion. But yeah. It's a really cool one, and it's easy to see why the opening went as viral as it did. So I'm just hoping that the show continues to be more popular because of the opening. Because I did see some people who were commenting like, oh yeah, I just saw the opening and then I checked out the show and it's actually really good. So I hope that trend continues.
Yes.
Two other things.
And it would be great.
Yeah,
go ahead. Okay. It would be great if that trend continues, but then also steps up another level where people like see the opening, they like bop along to it. I think I listened to the opening like 30 times in the next 48 hours after the first episode.
Yeah.
But they like bop along to the opening, they check out the show, they're like, oh, this is really good. They watch the show, it stays good, everyone enjoys it. And then like people will be there saying like, yo, this is a Yuasa show. Yuasa's like the best director currently working in anime. Check out some of his other stuff.
And then Shocking will be like, you should watch Ping Pong.
Yeah, I will be out of nowhere. Hey, did you mention Yuasa? Can I talk to you about Ping Pong?
Yeah, watch Ping Pong, watch Kaiba. You know, these are all amazing shows that he's responsible
I forgot he did Kaiba. That's awesome.
I like Kaiba. I love Yuasa. Good stuff.
Me too.
Good stuff.
Two things I want to add. One, I just love that everyone just has... It's universally agreed upon that Kanamori has the best design ever. She just does. And also, someone described the art style as gorillas mashed up with Ghibli, and I just love that.
Yeah, that's good.
I feel that. That's a great description for that.
I said no, and then you're like,
no, yo. That would be so bad. No, you got to feel the anguish. I'll pull out a no with anguish later. But no, that was like a hype yo, because I love gorillas, so I feel this. I just went on Twitter and I saw someone doing the dance. It's everywhere. This is so cool.
It's so good.
It's everywhere.
Who is all of your favorite of the three girls?
Is it probably? It's got to be Kanamori.
Yeah, Kanamori so far. I love characters that they kind of seem like, ooh, I don't like this. I don't care about this. Is dumb. But actually, they're along for the ride and they kind of enjoy it just by being there, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, I just tall and cynical like me, so he's definitely my favorite.
Do you also never fully close your mouth?
Yep. I have a lot of things to say, and I'm very intimidating. No, just kidding.
You're trying to hustle a model to make an anime series to make money.
Yep.
That's me. Yeah, I just look at her face, and I feel like, yeah, that's me.
Yep.
Yeah. Asakusa, I think, is my favorite character-wise. But there's something about Kanamori that just like the first time she appeared on screen, I was like, oh, this is a good character.
Yeah.
Like she doesn't even need to open her mouth. Like, you know.
Yeah, I like immediately. I was like, yeah, you're going to be a good character.
Yeah.
Probably the most realistic high schooler, too, out of all of them.
Yeah. That's a mood. Yeah. So that's a good show. If you haven't checked it out already, check it out. I mean, it's kind of impossible to avoid it on the internet in any capacity, but if you haven't actually watched the show, go check it out. Very good.
Yeah.
Speaking of meme tiers, so I didn't watch this one yet. This has interesting character designs and an interesting premise. It's Izuzoku Reviewers. Izuzoku Reviewers. Yeah, so this is the one about so I think it's a guy goes to review brothels by hooking up with different types of monster girls.
Yes.
Is that an accurate description?
What platform is this on?
This is on Funimation.
So now might be a good time to mention that this episode was recorded like 2 weeks ago. It's not funny.
Yeah. Is it uncensored on Funimation though?
Don't ask me. I don't know.
I heard because it's like I heard that it's uncensored, but like very uncensored to the point where people are like, yeah, so this is kind of just hentai. Like not even ecchi, like it's hentai. Like they're not mixing the two up. They're saying it's so much extreme ecchi that it's hentai.
There's no like
I never even heard of it until now.
I'm sorry. Well, no, it actually I heard people liked it. You know, like I heard people liked it. You know, like I heard people were surprised they liked it and they liked it, but I actually haven't gotten to see it. So, Maz, what do you have to say?
Well, what's good about reviewers is that I mean the concept, you know, it is what it is, but there's no bullshit about it. Like it doesn't try to have a story, even though it actually presents a surprisingly well realized world. Like, in the second episode, there's actually some sort of campaign for one of the species for this demon girl, because, you know, their race is just very unattractive and unflattering, so, yeah. I don't know, there's just there's a lot going on within this world. And
there's like a marketing campaign?
Yeah.
Huh.
That's
Interesting.
that's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the main visual, and it's like I don't know where to begin.
How
Like,
many
I don't-
episodes is it?
What?
I think it's gonna
How
be
many
12.
episodes is it so far?
Oh, there's 2 out right now.
I'm looking it up too.
It's just
It's like, go ahead.
yeah. It's just nice because I don't know. Again, like there's no bullshit about it. They really do kind of. I mean, they don't show sex, but they do show a lot.
So,
And
like, on a scale of how much sex, is it kind of like conception level sex, where it's like we know what's going on and they kind of show it and then they cut away, or is it kind of like a bit?
it's a
more?
step above conception.
Okay.
No, I
Yeah,
haven't
the
seen
promo
Conception.
photo itself kind of scares me.
I'm not even joking when that's actually the reason why I found out about this series, because it was like I just saw it and I'm like, that's what is happening? This isn't a real thing. And then this was like actually like 6 months ago, so I looked up the manga because I was just like so confused about this visual. And then yeah, it's a human and an elf that go around reviewing sex shops for different monster girls.
Okay, didn't even notice that there was an elf guy next to him.
Yes.
That's good. I should notice. But don't let the tentacle girl in the bottom right distract you from the fact that there is an Obasan right there. I do see a grandma.
That's in the first episode.
That's starting off strong. We know what we're about. There it is. I
It's
can
like-
actually. Oh, go ahead.
I am not going to watch this show. I told Panic that if he gave me one specific episode, I would watch that one with no context in order to talk about it on the Nutcast.
Yeah.
But aside from that, I'm definitely not going to watch this show, and yet I have an immense amount of respect for it. Just for, like you said, Maz, there are like no pretenses here.
Mhm.
You know, it's not like, your typical
They're not
ecchi
trying to hide
harem
anything.
bullshit. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're just like, this is it. Like monster girl prostitutes. That's the show.
Yeah.
Literally, the promo photo has every fetish imaginable in anime. Just like,
It really does.
you got tentacles, you got furries, you got those gargantuan titties.
Yeah.
Like it's very in your face, literally.
Yeah, it's like at some point you just kind of respect it because you're like, you know what you're about. You're not pretending. It is what it is.
Right.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
the reviews themselves are like surprisingly kind of it kind of in depth, because again it's from the perspective of a human and also an elf and also 2 other characters they pick up along the way. So they're basically running their own Famitsu for sex
I'm
shops.
sure all the guys reviewing it are giving it 5 stars.
Actually, not really, because it's from the perspective of different species. So there was I don't know. It just really varies depending on which species they're reviewing and who is reviewing it. Like the first one, the way this all starts is that it's the human and the elf are arguing about which is better, a 50-year-old grandma or a 500-year-old elf. Because
Jesus Christ.
yeah, because to one race, one is disgusting, but the other was really hot. Like it's like age doesn't matter to one, but it does for the other. So yeah.
Who won?
Technically the human grandma won, actually.
Aw,
Nice.
I wish I had like some wholesome like message at the end. Like it doesn't matter. Everyone has their own fetish. Like,
Well, that is really kind of that is kind of the
it's a
point.
family show.
It
Very
is
wholesome.
It's a good message at the end.
yeah, it's a good family show. Watch it with your friends. Watch it with your parents. Watch
Yo,
it with
low
your
key.
kids.
There are mosaics, so you can't watch it with kids.
Low key, I would be like kind of crushed if I worked at this brothel and someone gave me like a 3 out of 5 rating and be like, bruh, I didn't sign up for this. Like, I don't need this. I do not need this criticism right now.
Don't need this negativity.
Like,
yeah, they
what
should
if-
rate them back. There you go.
Yeah,
Rate
like
the
reread
customers.
them.
That would be
Can you
funny.
imagine? I'd be like, what if it's like one of these girls and they get like a 1 out of 5 and you're like, I know this is technically the service industry, but like, I don't need this type of bullying online.
That's definitely the point at which you rethink your life.
Yeah, that's when I'm like, you know what? Some people don't need opinions on things.
I'm very excited to see more people talk about it in the future. That's all I'm looking for.
Yeah.
It was like the Goblin Slayer thing where it came out and people were like, first episode? I don't know.
I think there's another show that's kind of gotten a bit more attention to kind of overshadow this one in terms of like I don't want to say sussery, but like
controversy, I guess.
Yeah, controversy.
As far as I'm concerned, it's just one person saying things that people don't agree with, but
yeah, that's how it goes, I guess.
I don't even really
It's
want to
just
talk
me,
about
actually, on different platforms.
Yeah. Oh well, it sounds like an interesting watch. You'll have to keep us posted, and I'll do the same thing with you. Like if I get told to watch like one episode out of context, I will watch it and talk about it.
Yeah. Point is, listen to the Nutcast. Colonel Panic, our good friend, he's back at it again. I was on the first episode, so
I gotta listen to that. I'm excited to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, this is actually only show I've seen the more than one episode of so far because I have both for the Nutcast.
My only problem with this show is I'm just going based off the visuals because I haven't seen it yet. Is that there are no girls on the show with small titties. All these girls have titties. I'm very mad about that.
Where is the flat as justice and for the ass guys?
Right? Come on.
Does the tentacle girl count? Is that an ass?
I don't think so.
That's
She just like kind of creeps me out. I'm just gonna be like, no shame, but like kind of I'm not feeling it. Moving on.
Anime, it's fine.
It's anime, it's fine. We're living, we're thriving. Yeah, so moving on from the tentacle girl who will haunt me in my nightmares, we got another show that's kind of like interestingly creepy. It's a very interesting one. It's called Toilet Bound Hanako-kun. So
definitely nothing wrong with that title.
Don't be misled by the title. We don't know that this show is like shitty, even though it's like title.
Well,
like, why is it toilet? Why the toilet? Oh, first I saw this and my first thought was Moaning Myrtle the anime.
Yeah, right? Like, that's what it is.
That's the first thing I thought of immediately was Moaning Myrtle. And I was like, that's a character I never really thought I needed more of. And then they put in like multiple Harry Potter movies. So we're just going to do that, but an anime with like a kind of creepy Shoujo. That
was always the worst when you're like reading like book 6 of Harry Potter and then Moaning Myrtle shows up and you're like, nobody has wanted
Go
you.
away.
Go back to book 2.
Yeah, like no one's here for this. Yeah,
and yet we're here for Hanako.
We're here for Hanako. So I've actually like heard a decent amount about the manga, just like from name recognition. Like I don't know anything about it, but I heard a lot of people were hyped for this. And it seems like kind of an interesting show from the first episode I saw. I'm kind of a fan of this like weird art style. And it kind of feels like this like creepy moe show with, it kind of obviously is more like stylistic than dynamic. Like it's not super animated, but they have interesting background art and like visual presentation of different elements. It's really quirky.
I think it's the same studio that did Assassination Classroom and the Danganronpa anime, which is why it probably it's like steampunk goth.
Yeah, but like also like kind of fairy tale-ish, right? Like steampunk goth fairy tale. But and Hanako-kun has the same voice actor as Nagito, who's like from Danganronpa. Like he's like the big character from that, which is the only reason I know about that series. So it's kind of fitting. And it's Megumi Ogata, she's Shinji. She's the friend in Cardcaptor Sakura.
She does a very good job in this one though, because Hanako has like this very soothing voice and you're just like he's got that creepy ghost vibe to him.
Yeah, his voice acting is so much different from everyone else's because I'm like kind of creeped out by it, and it's just so like it's not monotone, but it's really flat in a way. I don't even know how to describe it.
He's
it's just
soft spoken.
Yeah, I thought he would be a lot rowdier.
I love it. It's like captivating. I'm like I like him creepy. Like I would never want to be stuck with this boy.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm interested to watch more, but I wouldn't want to be alone with him in a bathroom or anywhere. Yeah. Have you guys seen it?
Oh yeah. It's got like a Monogatari type of like feel to it because of the apparitions and like spirits and stuff. But like
it does it now.
The second the second episode was really good. But the third episode kind of fell off for me, so I really hope it picks up that pace again.
Oh, what happened with the third episode? You can spoil me. I haven't gotten that far though.
It's very like it's all like the entire episode felt like reaction. Like it's just reactionary. Then just them going back and forth reacting to each other. I'm like, okay, but like get to the story. Like I really like the story. I really like the second episode left off. So I really hope it just kind of cuts out of all those tropey things and goes back to actually following the story, because that's what interests me the most.
Yeah, because like for the first episode, like as much as I like the cute little like reactions to her trying to woo her senpai, I liked it later on when we kind of got what we felt like was more story-based things with, her turning into a fish and the mermaid showing up and then, him saving her. Out of context, that's like the weirdest sentence I've said in a while. But, like, I swear it makes sense. But yeah, it's like a really interesting.
Adorable, dark, and creepy. Yeah.
Yeah. It's such a quirky show. Like, we've had like so many quirky shows and we've talked about 3 of them, but they're all like so different and weird. But it's really cool in how it's weird.
And hard to explain. I tried to explain the plot to this and I was like, I don't really know.
I think, I think it's just kind of going to be like her going around with him as he like kind of grants wishes, but then not. Because it's, you got the vibe of like, he can grant your wish, but for a price, but he probably doesn't want to make you pay the price. So then he tries to help you solve your problems in unhelpful ways. That's what I imagine it's going to be a series of, in like maybe episodic ways. I don't know.
The school, well, they kind of changed that. So like I guess like the school that he's the ghost of has like these 7 wonders.
The 7
so,
wonders.
So it looks like they're just like going through and he's basically in charge of armors of these like weird spirits of the school. It's, I don't know, it's like I said, it's hard to explain, but it's cute. I just hope that they would explain the story better, so it's not just them being like, reacting to each other every 2 seconds.
Yeah, it definitely seems like a good balance of the cute and creepiness. Like, I don't think it's gonna let the creepiness overshadow the cuteness and vice versa, so I'm down with the duality of that.
It's like a Tim Burton anime
in
a way.
Tim Burton meets Monogatari.
Yeah,
maybe Danganronpa. I haven't seen that show or played the game, but it kind of looks similar because it's the same studio. Yeah, it's an interesting one. Yeah, so that's kind of all I have to say on that. So we can move on to the next one. That's a whole different aesthetic. Speaking of Monogatari, we have another Shaft series called Magia Records, which is like not Madoka, but Madoka again. But I think it's based off the gacha game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which I have not played because I am trying to have self-control. But I know you play it, Maz, right?
Speaking of self-control.
Not there. Cannot be found.
Yeah, guess who spent $30 this week on one of the new gachas because I liked the magical girl that they just released and I didn't roll her.
And I got her anyway. That's right. I got her anyway. It took me like 4 days of grinding and I spent more money and I had to wait until the pity roll, which was after 100 rolls, but I got her. The gacha hell provides. I win!
Did she have a witch hat?
No, but I do have a witch hat magical girl. Yeah, add me on Magia Record. Check out my 5-star witch hat magical girl. I don't think she'll be in the anime though, unfortunately.
Well, that's sad.
Yeah.
So I got like 2 minutes in with the train, so I don't really know what's going on. But what's going on with this? Is it kind of like a gacha game story, or is it kind of trying to be like AU
like
Madoka?
Story.
Side story? Okay.
Yeah, they cover like the basic, Madoka world where it's like, you have to like make the promise to get the soul gem, and then it's like this girl is trying to figure out, like, she did a wish that she can't remember, and you basically find out like she's trying to find like her missing sister or something.
Ooh.
That's what I've got from the first couple episodes, but it still has like that cool like Shaft anime, and Madoka is apparently in this world.
Ooh.
Yeah, all the Madoka characters, the original 4 or 5, they're all in here.
Ooh,
or at least they will be eventually.
As of recording,
Spoiler alert.
3 episodes are out, and at the end of the 3rd episode, one of the like original 5 like shows up right at the very end.
Yeah.
So, that's hype.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like I was way more hyped to see it than I expected to be.
Same.
Which is kind of how I feel with this whole show. Like, I like Madoka a lot, but it feels like in the time since I watched it, like how much I liked it kind of declined in my memory. So when this came out, I was like, oh, it's a Madoka spinoff. It's based on a gacha game. Do I like really care enough to watch it? And then I watched the first episode, and like as soon as the first witch showed up and those like fucking wild ass
Trippy ass
labyrinth.
animations. Yeah.
As soon as that started happening, I was like, oh, that's right. Madoka is fucking sick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, this show is really good. So I am way more on board with Magia Record than I expected to be. I think, like, the two main mysteries are both really interesting. There's, like, the one you mentioned about, like, the main girl, like, can't remember what she wished for. And Kyubey is kind of like, well, if that's the case, then that means, like, part of the wish was that you didn't want to remember it. And she's trying to figure out, okay, so, like, why would I have made that decision? And the second mystery is about there's, like, a place in this, alternate universe that it takes place in from.
Oh yeah, where they can like free themselves from the magic girl curse or whatever.
Yeah.
Kamihara City, which is like the place where magical girls can go to be saved. Yeah, it's very interesting. I'm very on board. The main girl is like pretty lame, but.
No personality whatsoever.
Yeah, she's like short pink hair. She just feels like not Madoka TM, which is kind of what you'd expect from like the Gacha game spin-off main character.
Yeah,
but that's like really my only major criticism for it so far.
Maybe it'll be a thing like the original series where like she's not that cool, but that's kind of the point. Maybe we'll get a twist like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Everyone loves Yachio instead.
She looks pretty cool.
Which one is that?
She's the
blue one?
The long black-haired one. Yeah, the blue one.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, they just throw like 5 new magical girls at you in the first episode, so I can't keep track of any of their names.
Gotta continue the magical girl tradition of just referring them by their color. That's what I would do with like Sailor Moon.
But now there are so many, there are multiple of the same color.
Yeah, there's going to be another blue one. Or maybe there is.
There are going to be 3 blue ones.
But
plus,
the really
like,
blue
blue one? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But
yeah, that should be easy.
But yeah, it's good.
Nice. I'm going to check it out then. I'm excited. Because I didn't really know what to expect, but I didn't really think that Gacha game would be like a good, foundation for a series, but I can see it really working.
Yeah. We live in a post-Fate Grand Order world, so now Gacha games are allowed to be good.
Yeah. Aniplex like made Fate go and was like, holy shit, it literally prints money, and was like, what other series do we have that we can just milk? Oh yeah, we forgot to like do more stuff with Madoka. Let's just do that right now.
Right.
Still waiting on that follow-up movie.
Yeah.
We're still waiting. I think that's why it's like soured in my head, is because I'm like, do not make more Madoka if it's not the other movie. Like, just make the movie. But I heard it's in development, so I'll take it.
Well, it's been in development.
I just watched the anime.
Oh, you just saw it?
You should definitely watch
the
Rebellion.
anime, but not the movies. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Rebellion is like very divisive, but whether you're going to like it or not, it's definitely worth watching, I think.
Yeah, it's definitely worth it.
And personally,
personally,
my take on Rebellion, just wait, a little off topic, but I think it's like, I think it's better than the show itself, but you can't end the series there. Yeah. So if Rebellion is going to be good, then they have to eventually do.
We're just waiting. The only thing that I think everyone can agree on is we need a follow-up movie.
Mm-hmm. So
fingers crossed. But in the meantime, I guess we can watch Magia Record and not be disappointed.
Yeah.
Right. Awesome.
The other thing I'll say is that it's unclear whether or not this is going to be 1 or 2 courses. I think it's going to be split. But I am kind of excited to see where it goes, because apparently the Japanese release of the game actually like completed the story.
Ah.
Yeah, so I guess this might be a full adaptation. Granted, they did actually it's a gacha game. It has to go on forever. They started a new story, but I've kind of heard some hype things about it, actually.
Awesome. You'll have to tell us firsthand since you're playing it.
I haven't gotten that far into the main story. I've just been doing a bunch of side stuff, but I don't know. It's okay for now, I guess.
I feel that. I've been sober for like a year and a half off gacha games because I tried the Gintama one, which is only in Japanese. So my dumbass downloaded that from Japanese iTunes, and I got the Google Translator app to translate everything for it, and I still did like jack shit with it. So, I cannot play gacha games, and I will not heed temptation. I'm not going down that path. But Anyway, speaking of a path, have you guys checked out Smile Down the Runway?
Yes.
I have not.
So I heard good things about this, and I did not get to check it out, but I heard it was a really fun manga, so I'm interested to hear how it's turning out.
My favorite thing, the thing I was like most in this is actually like my most anticipated show of the season because it's made by the same staff that did Happy Sugar Life. Which look, say what you will about Happy Sugar Life, that was like one of the best presented anime of the decade. Like, it was just so good. And fortunately, some of that does kind of show up in Runway with like some weird psychological elements. Like, my favorite part of the episode was the very beginning where she's explaining like the main character, when she was a kid, she was really tall. And in order to be like this supermodel, you have to be like a certain height because of the way the clothes are. So and her family runs this fashion company. So she wants to be like the poster girl for this fashion company that her dad runs. And so she has like all these really big ambitions and like, I'm going to grow like if I grow 20 centimeters more, I'm going to be this super awesome model. And then like just immediately cuts to black. I ain't grow another fucking centimeter since that day. And it was like, damn, that's actually soul crushing. So I like how they're presenting it so far. I wish that someone would give Studio Isola some money so that way the character designs don't look so stiff. So that way the faces don't look so wide-eyed and weird. But other than that, I like this first episode. I haven't seen more of it. Full disclaimer, I haven't seen any more than one episode of everything except for reviewers. But yeah.
Same.
Yeah, I think my take on it is that like it's mostly like one of your classic good like seasonal roster fillers.
Yeah.
Like
seasonal bench players.
Yeah, it's fun. It's good. I enjoy watching it. It's not amazing. I'm probably not going to remember it. But I'm definitely enjoying watching it. And it does have occasional flashes of brilliance where like, for a couple seconds, it'll just get like super real. I'm thinking in the second episode, not to spoil, even though we're allowed to do that too much, but when the designer for like the subsidiary company just like passes out backstage.
Oof.
Like it's pretty good, and I really enjoy the main girl.
Yeah.
Because she's got an interesting personality that doesn't really fit, any of your typical anime molds. Because she's got like the typical protagonist, like go-getter attitude, like like doesn't back down in the face of adversity or anything. Yeah. But she's also like kind of a huge bitch sometimes.
Nice. We stand.
It doesn't shy away from that. Like the main boy, when he's kind of like, he's a little whiny for my taste, but
okay, he kind of looks like a bitch. You can tell from his haircut.
Totally. Yeah, right. Totally.
I hate his hair.
He's first introduced, and you look at his hair, and you're like, I hate the way he looks. I'm going to hate his personality too.
He looks like, from a distance, like Jiro from My Hero Academia.
Yeah.
He's like, he looks just like her, but not punk rock.
Right. And he acts exactly the way he looks.
Nice. We do not stand.
But when he's being like especially whiny baby mode, she will just like lay into him, and it's
nice.
It's like definitely, if this were a real life situation, I'd be like, okay, that was way too harsh. But in this context, I'm like, yes, I'm down for this. Let him have it.
Yeah. I feel that, because sometimes you want that to happen when you feel like you're getting annoyed at a character, and then the characters in the series are getting annoyed. You're like, you know what? That would be me. I respect that.
Right.
That's cool.
Speaking of if this was real life, one of the more fun things about the whole setup is that this girl does end up getting into the company because this guy designed a really special dress for her, and what happened is that this thing, like, so she did a photo, like someone just took her photo on the street and then put it in a magazine, and then it went like super viral, and then she didn't want to say that it was just made by some guy, so she said, oh, it was actually it was from this company, but this company is just like, what the fuck, no we didn't.
Yeah.
And they actually resolved this by just like giving the guy a job, like, hey, we like your dress, we're gonna buy the rights to it, and you can work for our company. I just thought about like how like if that was real life, that would absolutely not fucking happen at all.
Yeah.
But so the
Well,
real
you
life,
never know
like
now.
yeah,
That
real
person
life,
had
the
an
job
Instagram
position
following or
wouldn't happen,
something.
but
Yeah.
I can definitely see the like, oh, your thing blew up. Can we like buy the rights to it? You know, that's definitely real.
yeah.
That seems real, but I feel like they just take credit at that point.
Well, the issue is that like she said, oh, you can like buy it at this shop, which
Oh,
is the
that's
one
right.
my dad runs.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
then
that's- that
like
makes
orders
sense.
start coming in, and he's like, I've never seen this before in my life.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That makes sense.
I like the optimism.
That's cool. I'm excited because it does feel like it feels like I've seen the format before, but I haven't seen it for this subject matter, and I really like the subject matter. So I'm
Yeah.
hoping for maybe even if it's just a tinge of Project Runway the anime, I'm down.
Mm-hmm.
Or America's Next Top Model. Either way, I'm down.
It's like fashion is not a subject that comes
Do they
up
have
very often.
unconventional models in there though, or are they just like model?
No, it's
They're
like
just model
it's all like supermodels, like Paris,
Oh, yeah.
like fashion week models.
Japan doesn't believe in fat people. I keep forgetting.
Yeah.
But it's weird they don't believe in short people though. That's what's
Right.
odd to me. Because at first I looked her up and I'm like, so she's 5'2", but that's like, obviously in the West we'd be like, nah, you're too short. But I feel like Japan, I thought they would have kind of like a lower standard for height since there's so many short people in Japan.
Well, I think the deal is that like the main girl is like capable of getting modeling jobs, but
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
she wants to walk at like Paris Fashion Week, which is like the
Oh,
biggest thing.
yeah.
And
That
in
makes
order
sense.
to do that, you like have to be like exactly this body size and shape.
Oh, that
Yeah,
makes sense.
They actually
Yeah,
made a
yeah.
really interesting point about that I really liked, where basically they said that what was like the metaphor they used? It was like it's not really about you; it's about the clothes themselves.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, I tried to model when I was like 19. I
Wow.
was like really into it. And I'm 5'11", and they rejected me because I was too heavy. I am 25 pounds bigger now than I was when I tried to audition for modeling. So the standards are awful, at least in Western standards. But it's interesting in Japan because when I was there, I was like big friendly giant. Like I was like, there's no one here that's 5'11" unless you're a male. Like
Mhm.
that's pretty interesting.
That is interesting. That's pretty crazy though. I
But
know the
here you
modeling.
have to be like anorexic to be a model. It's insane.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
pretty unhealthy. I wonder if they'll address that more in the show, just how unhealthy the body standards are.
I wouldn't
I
be
hope
surprised
so.
because even in just like the first 2 episodes, they're definitely not shying away from how like brutally cutthroat the industry is.
Yeah.
Because that's always one of my favorite things is when they talk about a certain industry, shy away from it. That was something with Bakuman that I really appreciated. So
Mhm.
fingers crossed. But that seems like a fun one to check out. And I will definitely check that out to see cool clothes and see how much of a bitch this guy is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is another interesting one. I don't have a cool transition, but we're going to have fun with this. It's Somali and the Forest Spirit. And I thought from the art, like just the concept art, I thought this was Made in Abyss good ending, but it turns out to not be in an abyss. So that kind of ruins that comparison. But this show looks so cool. Maz, I know you're crazy over this.
I am pretty crazy about it too.
Oh, you are too? Oh, yay. Yeah. Yay.
I
So
watched
wait.
third episode today and was like bawling my eyes out at work.
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
watched all 3 episodes today.
I was like almost gonna cry even at the first episode. It was like intense but chill and wholesome. Am I allowed to use all those words to describe it when it seems like they don't get like they are not cohesive? It was like such a cool series.
Yeah, I totally get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I love Golem. Like
I love
he's
him.
So cool.
he
Yeah.
is, and I'm really like scared though because there's so many things going on that could break your heart. Like the
Yeah.
fact that she has to hide that she's a human. So you're
Yeah.
like constantly scared like her hood's gonna come off.
Yes.
And then the fact that she's eventually gonna need to see her parents because Golem can't take care of her forever. So it's another thing you're like, this is heartbreaking. And the third thing is that he doesn't feel any emotion, but he can feel pain in his heart when she's sad. And you're like, I'm crying just thinking about it.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too, and I was like, I know he doesn't feel emotion, but like he tucks her in at night, and like it feels like close enough, you know? It's so
Right.
cute. It's so
Going by the
wholesome and
book,
cute.
But she doesn't understand that because she's like, what, 5 maybe?
Yeah.
Ugh, it breaks my heart thinking about it, but it is really good. And I love that the voice actor for Jotaro is.
I just imagine him as a dad. Like, I imagine this is like the precursor to, let's say JoJo events.
Are you kidding? No, not to spoil part 6 or anything, but Golem is a way better dad than Jotaro.
That's what I was thinking.
Well, Golem doesn't have a little human named Coochie that he spends more time with. So.
That's true. Yeah, I just imagine, I was like, this is Jotaro as a dad, only not really because he can find his kid. Yeah, I'm like,
really good.
It's so good. It's so like calming, but you're so invested in the characters almost immediately. Like, I was pretty scared. I was pretty shocked at myself being so invested in Somali immediately. Like, she just called him dad, and I was like, yep, I'm here. Like, we're here. I want you guys to succeed and be happy. It's probably not going to happen, but I'm living for this.
And the background art is so beautiful.
Gorgeous. It's like background art, the anime.
It reminds me of Fern Gully.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's so cool looking. I think that's why I thought it was like made in Abyss, even though it's not in an Abyss. And he's not Bone Daddy, so that's kind of a win.
I hope that it doesn't get as dark as Made in Abyss, because it will break my heart.
No, yeah, I can't hang with that. We already have Made in Abyss kind of coming out soon, so I don't need like 2 of them, especially when this one's not upfront about how... Well, this one is hopefully not that dark, as you said. Yeah. I actually only saw the first episode too, so I only have that to gush about, but I'm glad that you guys still love it from episode 3.
Yeah, episode 3 is definitely like the most tearjerker one of the 3 yet.
No, that makes me sad.
It definitely like introduces the most. I don't want to say conflict, but like emotional drama.
Yeah.
Of the setup.
Yeah, because I was already there with like the freaking cat. I'm like, ooh, the cat. This cat isn't good. This is a bad cat. And I was already scared from that, so I can only imagine more.
I will say episode 3 has a cliffhanger ending.
I hate when they do that.
Yes, and it's a bad one.
No, I don't want... I hate cliffhanger endings.
I do like that she makes friends with like this bunny. It's like a bunny monster thing. And I'm like, can you imagine being like 5 years old and your best friend is like a life-size fluffy bunny? Like, I would
really
never
like that.
leave. I'd be like, fuck my dad. I don't give a shit.
She's just like constantly trying to snuggle him, and he's like, okay, like that's good. You can stop touching me now.
It's so cute. I hate it.
It's so cute. Please don't break my heart.
It's going to. I already know it's going to. Every episode, I'm just like on edge. Like something's gonna happen.
Yeah, it just like looks so cool too. It has a really unique art style.
Mm-hmm. It's just so relaxing, man. Like normally, I don't really get that invested with relaxing sorts of anime because I don't know.
Usually, I'm a meathead.
Yeah.
So, I'm just kidding.
I don't know. There's just usually not a lot going on in them, but Somali has just such a fun and engaging world where they don't really tell you a whole lot. Instead, it's just you're just looking at things, and it's like everything you see, there's just something different going on. It's really cool.
Yeah. There's a little bit of exposition in the first episode.
There's a bit.
I think it's acceptable exposition of
it's
like...
well earned, yeah.
Yeah. You guys don't remember that time we had humans and we got the war with them? Oh, yeah. Funny you say that. I kind of remember it. And I'm like, okay, this is acceptable. I'm fine.
Yeah. And it's like, I'm with you, too, where, like, this kind of show isn't really my thing. Yeah, and even still, like, as much as I like it, it doesn't keep my attention for, like, 100% of every episode. But... The emotional core of it is strong enough that even if like I get a little bored moment to moment, whenever anything important happens, I'm like totally right there.
Yeah. I don't know how much of an accurate comparison this is, but it kind of reminds me of Girls Last Tour, even though they're not really, they're not really similar, but it's that same kind of like, this is relaxing, but I'm also feeling kind of tense from what's going on.
Yeah, I think that I can see where you're coming from that. I think like the most obvious comparison is it's kind of like Boneless Ancient Magus Bride.
Yeah. I see.
And that it's like, and I know I'm the only one here. Well, I don't know about you, Lisa, but I know out of the 3 of us, at least, I'm the only one who liked Ancient Magus Bride.
I'm trying to be wholesome.
I actually dropped it, so
Lisa's on our squad. Let's go.
I didn't mean to drop it. I think at the time I was watching so many shows and just kind of
Yeah.
forgot about it.
Yeah.
Like that
That's
was kind of it.
Yeah, like not memeing. That's what happened with me too. It wasn't like I can't.
I
watch
probably
this.
do because it wasn't good enough for me. So that's probably why.
I think the Ancient Magus Bride anime is like okay, but I'm a really big fan of the manga.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's a lot
then-
better in the manga.
Yeah, I can see that.
Well, the thing I always have to say is like everybody loved like the OVA that came out before it,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
and then like didn't like the actual anime. I don't know. The manga feels much more like the OVA, just in terms of like, impact. But
Yeah.
to get back on track, like this, if the relationship between Somali and Golem is like very similar to the main relationship in Ancient Magus Bride, but without some of like the rough edges.
Yeah.
It's like if you took that like very different existences, like who care about each other very much and are trying to coexist, but like can't 100% like get each other just on a fundamental level. It's like that same sort of dynamic.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel that. That's like a good way of describing it. So
Yeah. And they just have such a nice dynamic because it's a literal child and then this guy who's so literal in all the way he talks. I just love Golem so much.
I love him. His bartering scene. Holy shit.
Yeah.
His farting scene is so sick.
He's like, you know what I'm implying. I was like, are you sure you don't have emotions? Because that sounded really sassy to me. Like that's just pure sarcasm. Like, you know what I'm about.
Right.
Yeah. So this is what he looks like Bone Daddy from Made in
He
Abyss.
does look like Bone Drew.
Looks like Bone Daddy. But he's like an actual daddy and actually looks like he has bones on him.
Looks like Bone Daddy from Made in Abyss, acts like Bone Daddy from Ancient Magus Bride.
That's facts.
That's awesome. Yeah, so that's a good show. If you haven't seen it, hopefully you've seen the background art, and that will lead you to it to check it out, and you guys can all cry with us when it inevitably leaves us in heartbreak.
Yeah.
Yay! Yay! So I don't actually have a good transition for this one because I haven't seen it, but you guys have seen Inspector?
I think it's
Inspector.
Inspector. Yeah.
Inspector.
Yeah.
So
Get
they
it?
just add...
Go gadget anime.
Is that what this is?
No.
I was like, I don't know if that's what it looks like.
This anime is also kind of hard to explain. It's
That's
like
the theme
Toilet
of the
Bound.
season.
It's like Toilet Bound almost.
Yeah,
you
it
have
kind
like
of
this main character who's in between like the spirit world and like the human world, and stumbles upon somebody who they blatantly have a crush on and is totally creepy too, who also can somewhat help trigger spirits.
Oh my gosh.
It's so funny how like they're kind of similar but they're not. This one is definitely more like I guess modern in a way because it's just like yeah. Like there's like these yokai, all the is there even a term for anime that have this sort of theme?
Like the mentor? Well, it's not.
No, with like all the yokais and the spirits
Oh,
and stuff like that.
no,
Is that like
I know
a genre.
I don't know. Like personally, I'd call it fantasy, but a lot of people are like, fantasy is only Lord of the Rings.
No, I know what you mean. It's like a true like spiritual fantasy. Because yeah, that's what. Because I was thinking of Natsume as soon as you said that.
Yeah, but it seems a little darker because like in the first episode, like she runs into this guy that she like has a crush on, and at the very end she's like trying to help this yokai and it like goes berserk on her, and he ends up saving her by letting it eat his arm.
Ooh.
His arm is poisonous to them, it kills it, and then he regenerates his arm. And
That's pretty savage.
And apparently he can do that because he ate 2 yokai in the past that had effects on his body. So yeah, it's very interesting.
Whoa.
That's pretty savage.
But it's also
pretty
a detective
hardcore
series at the same time.
It's like actually 3 shows from this season in one.
Yeah, it is. It's because there's like a detective part in the second episode where they're trying to figure out why like a woman's body got dumped in the lake. So, and like she has to talk to the spirit of the lake. It's very interesting, but I like
so
it.
Cool.
That
does sound cool.
I think I'm hoping it'll just get better and not be one of those anime that just falls off after like 5 episodes.
Yeah, because I think we all seen that, and it always feels like detective shows where they start off like
It's always detective shows.
It's always detective shows.
How's Babylon going these days?
That's what I heard.
haven't watched it because they had a 6-week break between like episodes. I'm like, okay, well, I'm never gonna get back into this. So
Yeah, I saw some screenshots from it, and it didn't look like it was going a lot.
I didn't like the theme. It was dumb.
Yeah,
I was like, Japan's too weird about suicide to try to make an anime about it.
yeah, that's the one thing. I saw that one clip, and everyone was freaking out about it. And then, you guys really can't take a 6-week break. Like, you guys are not the series that can do that. You got to keep going with the hype train, and not be sus about suicide.
And also take a 6-week break between a cliffhanger.
Yeah, that's the worst.
Yeah. But no, Inspectors, I don't know. You said one of you guys have seen it, right?
I've seen it.
Yeah. I like it. I mean, I hope it just gets better. That's all. If it's on the same level as the next episode, I probably won't finish it.
I would be really surprised if this went downhill just because of how strong I thought the first episode was. I just absolutely loved the two main characters talking to each other. It just, like, it's super dialogue heavy and super exposition heavy, but it feels pretty engaging, actually, because it's like both characters have like a certain level of bullshit to them, and they're both kind of trying to like almost out bullshit one another.
Yeah.
And it's really fun. And I absolutely love the girl, Kodako. She's so much fun.
I love that she's very open about her crush. She's like, oh yeah, this is my boyfriend. He's like, I'm not dating you. She goes, yes, you are. Like, she's
better this way than the other way around.
I know. I hate it when anime's like, oh my god, just fucking kiss. Like, I'm like, just be open. She straight up is like, yeah, I think you're hot. I'm glad your girlfriend up to you. Like, so yeah, I really like her too. And she's got that like, what is that? That Lolita type of fashion
Goth
look
lolly,
to her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She has a great design.
I love her. I love how she doesn't actually look that childish to me.
Yeah.
Even though the guy says that he thinks she's in middle school, but I don't know. I didn't get that impression from her.
No, she's just skinny and short. But yeah, she's definitely not lolly looking. Like, there is no, underlining fetish going on with the show.
Yeah.
She definitely looks like a 17-year-old girl.
Yeah, she could be anywhere from age 10 to 25.
Yeah.
Really, she could be
That
like.
explains it.
I think she could be anywhere from age 10 to like 60 because she walks around with a cane.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Like
she's old.
Grandma.
But yeah, the best part about her is that the way she kind of has a crush on this guy is she saves him from falling and all, and then she just looks at him and immediately thinks that, oh, he looks like a goat, and then she goes into very, very extraneous detail about goats and why she likes goats, and I'm like, okay, this is a fucking weirdo, and I love
That's
her.
how I got the screenshot for Never Underestimate a Goat.
Oh, is that where that came from?
Yeah.
Oh my god,
Yes.
that's amazing.
This is the goat show.
Oh, that's awesome.
So then when she starts talking about how she's like the goddess of these yokai or whatever, it's like, okay, she's already weird enough where I could actually buy into this.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's great. I love her. She's my favorite between the two characters, I'll say.
Yes.
He's just a hot dude that's just kind of a mean.
He's alright.
That's just dang that she's like, yeah, he's just here because he's hot. Well, she has a connection to him, but that's really funny.
No, it's good. I think it's one of the more overlooked animes this season.
Interesting. Okay. That's definitely cool to hear. I'm glad you guys have good things to say about it.
It's
I've said that about a lot of our shows, but this, like, especially, because I was just about to watch this.
It's actually number 3 on my anime list so far, which is funny to me because I didn't even... Because, like, I knew the name Inspector for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know the Japanese name, though, for a really long time. Like, it was only, like, 2 days ago where I made the connection that Kyokou Suiri and Inspector are the same show. Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, and I feel dumb just reading that. Inspector. Oh, it's Inspector. Duh.
Oh.
Oh.
I love
Duh.
wordplay titles. That's actually really cool.
That's so good, but I was like, I'm too dumb. I'm too low IQ for this show. That's what it comes down to. Yeah. So that's cool to hear. I'm excited to check it out, like unironically excited.
Yeah, definitely check it out. But it's my favorite behind Eizouken and Somali.
Ooh. That's high praise.
Based on the first episode.
Yeah, okay. That's good to hear. This is also one of your shows. I like the title for potential meme reasons, but we have Darwin's Game, which is the
Wait, hang
second
on.
most popular.
You skipped Dorohedoro.
Oh, we were going to talk about that later.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You
sorry.
didn't hesitate. You Doro.
I can't.
What about Doro? I think it's
Dorohedoro.
Dorohedoro.
Thanks.
Sounds like the meme name for like My Neighbor Totoro. But yeah, we're gonna save that. We're gonna save that. Dororo. Yeah, we were gonna save that for a bit because I wanted to talk about Darwin's Game, which immediately just makes me think of Darwin's Law, and I saw you were posting about that, Maz. So I think you feel about this show.
So Darwin's Game is a death game, so automatically I love it.
Okay, I'm okay. This might be shit because all the death games I've seen have been shit, but I'm down with it being called Darwin's Game because I love saying this is like Darwin's Law or like, you know, what is it called? Like Darwinism, like any kind of Darwinism
yeah.
for like people doing dumb shit and getting killed. Like, you know, that's
Not
like
Death Parade, is it? Because I love Death Parade.
No, I think this is more like the I don't want to call Mirai Nikki to insult
It is
Mom.
kind of Mirai Nikki, like, honestly.
Like yeah, I don't want to be there, but here we are.
What was that Osama game?
Osama Game, yeah, the goat.
In a way, it is like Osama Game, just like not nearly as stupid.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why I'm down with it be calling Darwin's Game because you're like survival of the fittest, who's the least stupid. So it's kind of like the other show, Reviewers being just so upfront about like, yeah, that's what we're about. Mm-hmm. If it's in that vein, I'm like, okay, this is okay.
Yeah. I would almost say it's like, I don't think it's as cool as Mirai Nikki. By the way, one of my favorite anime of all time. Just freaking love
It's my
Mirai
favorite.
Nikki.
It's so funny because I feel bad because I don't like it, but I don't have like the burning hatred for it. But I kind of like that you like it so much. So I'm kind of like a cheerleader, but I'm like, yeah, fuck this show.
You know, it's so sad. Mirai Nikki was like the shit 10 years ago. Like, that was the show everyone was into, and Yuna was everyone's girlfriend, and now everyone's just like, fuck that show.
I just want you to know I was a fuck this show from day one. I didn't conform to the
so
people.
sad.
Same here. But I
was
also
a
watched
day
it
one.
years later.
Yeah, I did too. It's just the telescope.
Yeah, it's not as cool. Darwin's Game is not as cool as Mirai Nikki, nor as stupid as King's
Is there
Game.
any yanderes in it?
I don't know. To be honest, there is some sort of, I don't know, kind of weird girl who gets weirdly attached to the main character in the first episode.
So there's a yandere.
I suppose she could be, yeah.
So it is Mirai Nikki. In your defense with Mirai Nikki, like none of these designs pop as much as Mirai Nikki. So I kind of feel you with saying it's not like as cool looking because this kind of looks like less bad Osama Game, which is not saying much.
Yeah, they do try to play up the main girl a lot. Like, oh, this is going to be the girl that you're totally in love with this season, and I'm just like, yeah, she's okay. She's okay.
Yeah, because she's kind of got like the twin tail. I don't think she's a lolly, but like the twin tail.
She's got a goth
fashion.
lolly. Yeah. She's got.
She looks like a poor man's version of who's the girl in Death Note.
She looks like a girl from a hentai.
She does look like a girl from hentai. Yeah, she looks like that.
There's nothing worse than a girl who, like, they very clearly want you to waifu and you just
What I don't get is how is that dress so ugly?
It looks really bad. Why is it so puffy?
Like, how is it ugly, though? Like, it's an anime girl in a dress. It should be cute, but that's a hideous dress. I'm sorry.
Looks very
It's not
bad.
even, like, a bad dress, I think. It's just poorly drawn. It's, like, really blocky.
It's like, why? How did they fail so hard at this?
Ugh. It's
You know
gross.
what it looks like? It looks like one of those, like, flash dress-up games where you drag the dress over the
Create your own waifu, dress her up.
Yeah.
And someone's like, this is the final one. This is the outfit we're going with. This is how we're selling the Blu-rays.
But do you see what I mean? It looks like it's, like, on a different layer and just doesn't actually, like, match
they
the
didn't do
character.
Photoshop well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel that. Why did they do this?
But yeah, Darwin's Game is a thing where people just have to kill each other, and it's really.
Are they in the same class or are they like random citizens?
It's
Hold
random
on.
people.
I'll be right back. Give me just 1 second.
Okay.
You guys keep talking, though. Actually,
We can-
I probably could have just not said anything.
Yeah,
We can keep dabbing on this.
it's about random people. So the thing is that there is this unsuspecting smartphone app that when you launch it, you're just part of the Darwin's game. So it could just go to anyone, really. And then, I don't know. The idea is that you either have to kill someone or they have to like so the main guy and the main girl, I suppose, they technically fight, and then she loses and she just surrenders, but which just means that she's under the guy's control now.
Nice. I see where this is going.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And
yep.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess they have to take down some sort of edgelord mafia. That's part of it, because that's what happened. It's kind of weird that I don't have much to say about it, even though I watched the first episode, and the first episode is double length. It's stupid because
like 45 minutes.
Yes,
oh, gosh.
Yeah. I didn't know that going into it, and I'm like, oh my god, dude, I got stuff to do today. It's unfortunate because it just wastes a lot of time, because every single thing that happens, the main character has to be in such utter disbelief. Like, why is there a guy in a panda suit? Why does he have a knife? Why is he approaching me? It's like, shut the fuck up and do things, okay? I can figure the show out myself as we go along. This isn't complicated.
Yeah.
Also, the animes that have 45-minute episodes have to be, like, big animes, like Fate.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just have, like, a random seasonal that no one hyped up be 45 minutes long.
Yeah, that's an instant no for me.
Yeah.
I'm
that's
like,
weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first, it's funny because this has 11 episodes, so it's not even like they had to cram in one TV spot so they could fit it in the season.
They could have just cut it in half and have 12
and it's not even like it's not even like this just needed to be a 45-minute episode, so that way you could, like, the first half of the episode was fine on its own, so when it kept going, I'm like, oh, that's when I realized it's a double-length episode. I'm like, oh, it's not fucking over yet, even though it should be.
Weird.
Other than that, love it. Anime of the season.
It's the Moz pick of the season.
Yep. I just saw a lot of people shitting on it on Twitter for being so stupid, and I'm like, oh, here we go. This is going to be my show.
So there you go.
A twinkle appears in Maz's eye.
It's happening.
People were actually, like, attacking me for not watching it. Like, when I posted, like, my 4 favorite seasons, why aren't you watching this? And, like, it was, like, tons of comments. And I'm like, look, I'm not watching every anime that's out right now. I'm not crazy. Like...
Well, the plot twist is they were all Maz's alts, and he was trying to get you to hype the show up.
It was like 10 of one person's account. Just
like, they just add a different number at the end. They're like, watch this show.
I get so annoyed when people do that. I'll be like, these are seasons I'm watching. They'd be like, well, then why aren't you watching this? I'm like, because it's not on my list. I don't know what to... Like,
when you do the classic, like, here are my favorites, and they're like, where's this show? And it's like, not here, bitches. Keep going.
Right?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
The internet is great. Okay. Anyways.
Internet killing it.
Hey, wait a minute. This section is missing something. Oh yeah. Darwin's game is the...
I'm pregnant, you're the father, and I'm gonna kill all 3 of us! Calm down. Have some dip.
of the season. Okay, so for context, I was going to do a Junie Tyson parody. Basically, I was going to play the OP, except I would replace the lyrics with some joking lyrics that I wrote. However, for absolutely no reason whatsoever, the channel now has 2 copyright strikes, so I'm too afraid to actually do anything that involves copyrighted material. So thanks whoever's responsible for crippling our channel. Don't worry, we're fine, nothing's going to happen, but I don't want to risk getting a 3rd strike. So this is what you get. My furnace just turned on. Also, I watched Plunderer. Figured I should mention this because it's not in the lineup, and we didn't really want to waste time with that. But I watched the first episode of Plunderer. I don't want to talk about Plunderer, actually.
This one also has an interesting name, ID Invaded.
All right, let me handle this one.
Another anime that people
another
are bugging
challenger
about watching.
approaches. Yeah.
So I watched all 4 episodes of this one today as well. ID invaded his boneless psychopaths. That's all you need to know about the show. It's like do you remember the scene in Psychopaths where Akane does the memory scoop on what's his name, the villain?
Yeah.
And so someone just saw that one scene and was like, I'm gonna make this an entire show. It's uncanny how similar it is. Like the main character is part of like this law enforcement program that like he's a former cop who like fell to the dark side and like now is like a special enforcement cop who can only do things that because he's a criminal. They have like this tech that like it's like a handheld device that it's not a gun, but it looks very similar to one that they wave around to like detect people's like intent to kill.
Oh.
Do you think this is kind of like the 50 Shades of Grey to Twilight, like of Psychopaths? Like someone wrote this as a fanfic and it was probably popular enough. They're like, yeah, so we're just gonna do this.
I would not be surprised at all. It definitely feels like a Psychopaths fanfic. All that said, it's not bad. I'm actually pretty into it.
We can get down with the Psychopaths fanfic.
Yeah. The one big difference is that when they do like the memory scoop, which is called an Iduel in this. The main character like sits in like the same special chair that they have in Psychopaths, but then he like rather than just seeing the person's memories, he kind of like inceptions them. He like enters their subconscious and basically he has to like poke through like the layers of this person's mind in order to
paprika.
In order to like figure out clues about who the person actually is. And he does that. There's like every time he goes into like anybody's mind, there's like a construct that the program creates in the form of this girl who's like always dead in some like different way, and he has to like solve the mystery of how the girl was murdered in this world that leads him to like clues about the person's identity. It's one of those premises that like we were saying before, it's a detective show, so like it's one of those ones you expect to watch the first episode and be like, oh, this is interesting, but it's probably gonna suck by the halfway point. But 4 episodes out, I'm still about this show. It's doing a pretty good job of like developing an overarching mystery in addition to like the villains of the week. The characters are pretty not like super compelling, but like interesting enough. It's definitely
the
like
animation
taken
looks really
some
cool
turns.
too.
Yeah, it's got a good style. It's taken a lot of turns that I just like didn't expect.
That's a good thing for it.
I don't remember.
Studio Naz, N-A-Z.
Yeah,
but it's by the director of Fate-0.
Oh, really?
There it is.
You know what? I totally see it now that you point that out. I can definitely see the like presentation similarities.
Oh yeah, and
awesome.
this is written by the guy who made Ryu no Haisha, the Dragon's Dentist. I don't know if you guys saw that. That was.
I heard of that.
I really thought you just said Dragon Dentist.
Yes, I did just say Dragon Dentist.
Yeah, it's a short that. Well, not a short. I think it's an OVA.
It was like a 2-part technically movie. It was part of the
I'll link it. Yeah.
It was part of that animation expo thing that Hideaki Anno funded. The one that it's where Mimi comes from.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, I heard good things about this.
Yeah, this was like a short that was part of that whole expo that Studio Kara later made into like a full thing.
That's awesome.
It's interesting.
Yeah, I heard it was really well animated at least.
So kind of cool to see this guy doing new stuff. Anyway.
Yeah. But having like not being able to predict the twist for it is like very high praise for a detective show.
Yeah, and I think like every episode so far, there's been like at least one thing that I didn't see coming.
Nice.
I don't remember if it's episode 3 or 4, but have you guys seen Dirty Harry?
No.
I feel embarrassed saying no, but I know the movie. I feel bad.
Okay. Well, there's one part in Dirty Harry where Scorpio, who's the serial killer in there, basically like dares the police to like he buries a girl alive and then like dares them to like find her in like a certain amount of time before she runs out of air.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Yeah. And they do like a similar thing to that in one of the episodes of this show. And the way it's resolved is like took me completely by surprise and was kind of like the point that showed me like, okay, not only does the show have like interesting ideas, it like has the balls to do unexpected things. So I'm really hoping this show doesn't go downhill because it's been ramping up really nicely, and I have high hopes for it if it continues to do that.
That's awesome. That's really awesome to hear, actually.
Is anyone else watching it?
No, but I might now.
Yeah, now I might. We have a lot of detective
People
shows.
were also harassing me about the show, so.
I meant to watch it. It was on my list. I just didn't have enough time to watch it. So because I knew you were watching it, I'm just like, well, as long as someone else is watching it, it's fine.
Yeah. I think it'll be interesting to see between this and Inspector, like which one will crash and burn harder.
They both have so many eyes in them. Like Inspector, ID Invaded, feel very action. They feel actiony.
The one thing to note is that ID Invaded is a totally original show. Inspector is based off of a manga.
Ooh.
That is good to know.
It's either a good thing or bad thing, depending on which one crashes and burns.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Right.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. I'm excited. I've actually I know a lot of times I'll check it out and then I won't check it out. I genuinely want to check these ones out.
Yeah. I think I'll say it again. The perfect way to describe it is boneless psychopaths. Mm-hmm. But psychopaths is excellent enough that you can take the bones out and still have a good show.
Yeah. That's a good way of putting it.
I love that metaphor, actually.
You can take the bones out and it's still good. Yeah. I don't know if this show has any bones to speak of, but this one has been, I guess it stands out because it's not a detective show, but this one is Asteroid in Love, and it's the latest Doga Kobo show. It's another Furikoma manga, and I haven't seen this one, but I heard good things and it looked cute. Are any of you guys watching it?
I am not. No. I think we went through almost pretty much all the ones I'm watching.
Yeah. Wait, were none of us watching this one?
No, I'm not. Good job.
Why did I put this on the list?
How did this get on the list?
Okay. So that's what we had to say
guys,
about that.
That's the show that's airing this season.
Yeah.
That's a show. It looks like cute girls maybe on an asteroid. We don't know.
Maybe since we brought it up, I'll just add something later on. That's okay. Here's an.
What if we just did? It would be fun. Watch have a 1 second thing. It's yeah. So that's the show. That's all you need to know. People would be pissed, but it would be funny. Yeah. So anyway, on to shows we have seen and that we were going to talk about earlier. We have Dorohedoro. We said it. Dorohedoro. I was going to say
Dorohedoro.
Dorohedoro or Dorohedoro.
I love that. This kind of sounds like if it was a Pokemon, it would be the evolved form of Dororo.
Yeah.
Dorohedoro the Explorer.
Oh, that's actually accurate. That's how you describe the show.
I love.
You guys want to talk about a show with bones? This show has bones.
This show has.
It's got all the bones.
This show is SLC Punk meets Cyberpunk meets Ninja Turtles meets everything.
This is honestly an overwhelming show for me, just because.
Overwhelming is definitely the word for it.
Yeah, every single thing that you see in here is interesting. Every single thing that's going on is really interesting, and man, it's insane. Honestly, I don't even know what to say. Where do you begin with it?
Did any of you guys?
Let's begin where the show begins with the fact that the main character is a giant lizard man with a dude's face in his mouth.
Yes.
Wait,
and he's
did you guys
by
think
Wataru Takagi, which is awesome?
Yeah,
he is awesome. Did you guys think I started the first episode and I had to double check and see if this was actually the second episode, because I was are we really starting in this guy's mouth? Did I just did I just mess up? And I'm no, this is the first episode. We're just starting in his mouth.
Right.
It's the most entertaining anime I've watched where I have no idea what the fuck is going on.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. Well, it is
Very
cool.
meaty.
By the end of the second episode, I'm definitely like piecing together what the plot is, but it totally just throws you in there.
Yeah, it's kind of cool because I was trying to catch up and see like, okay, so these are like obviously Lizard Man and the Blonde are the main characters. I'm like, so they're going to be the good guys, but they're kind of killing these people. Are they bad guys? Then we follow the bad guys who are like maybe not actually bad guys and they like are just kind of getting demolished. And then the guy eats his face off by accident. And I was like, do we root for anyone or do we just like sit back and let them do their thing?
I don't
think
it's
we
like
really root for
you
anyone.
have two different worlds. You have a human world and a sorcerer world. And then, the main character, Kaiman, wants to know how his body got turned into a lizard head.
Yeah.
And so he's eating every sorcerer or he's killing all the sorcerers because if they find out that he has that human inside or if they find out he's not good with magic, then he's like hunted down. That's what I got.
That makes sense because I was kind of like
not affected. Yeah, he's not affected by magic, so that makes him like a big risk to the sorcerers. So that's why he kills all of them.
I know the setting that they inhabit is called the Hole, and like that seems like in another universe. The Hole.
It's a very, very, very meaty term. It's just called the Hole.
The Hole. You know, the illustrious world of the Hole.
Yeah, well, the sorcerers who are like the other side of things are like from a different universe, and they just like they like transport across universes into Hole in order to just like fuck shit up for fun.
Yeah, and it's interesting how no one sees our lizard dude as like someone who stands out. Like they're just like, yeah, this is a thing, and you see people getting their limbs turned into insect limbs, and they're like, yeah, this just is how it be. This is just how society goes.
Yeah.
It's very post-apocalyptic.
Yeah,
it's grimy as fuck. Like,
I love it.
That's the number one adjective for it. I think is just
grimy is perfect. I think I wrote that down too. I'm like, this is grimy.
Let's call it a cyberpunk magic show because like I've never seen magic be used as a power in a show like this.
Yeah,
like it's very interesting. Like they have like
it's
the black
very
smoke
unique sort of magic. Yeah,
I like
smoke. The
I like the small
women.
Yeah, I like her. Okay, at first I thought she was just gonna be kind of like everyone in the show kind of was gross looking, but then she's just kind of like the boobs. But she's like jacked as shit and like kind of and pretty badass. So I like her. Just skateboarding.
And there's another super jacked lady in episode 2 on the other side.
Yeah, I saw her being posted. I was like,
she's like even more jacked. She's huge.
Oh, Noi.
That's
her name.
Yeah,
she looks like a Joestar. Like
she does look like a Joestar.
Like she's just fucking
she
great.
100% looks like gender bent Jonathan Joestar.
And she's like super sweet too, which I love. She's not like very butch, you know. She's just very like soft spoken. She just is massive and could kill me. Like that's.
I really like kind of how you've got the foil set up now, where you have Kaiman and Nikaido on one side, and then you have Noi and what was his name, Shin, the guy with like the heart mask, on the other side, and they've got like a very similar dynamic, but they
I like
but
how
even Nikaido's a badass too.
Right. That's what I'm
kills,
saying.
Yeah, she like fucking kills like 3 dudes, and she's just like, oh, oops, I went too hard. Like
I like the small details of like how, you know, like she was getting like her limbs turned into like insect limbs, but after that's like resolved, she like didn't bat an eye. Like there's no kind of like freak out over almost getting killed, and that's kind of cool because it feels really authentic to their setting. Where you know people just die all the time, they get magic cast on them all the time. You just kind of got to roll with it and, you know, hopefully come out on the other side.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is necessarily weird or wrong to say, but based on this character, someone later told me that the mangaka is a girl, and I'm like, that makes sense.
True. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that actually. Wait, okay, I wanted to bring this up. So this is a Netflix show, and you know, naturally because there are animals in it, it's a furry show. And then they just had Beastars. And they also have a Gretzko. So is Netflix actually the home of all furry anime?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's decided.
Too, while we're at it.
Which one?
I said they're putting them in prison too. So it's like they're going to be all overlooked until they're released, unfortunately.
And they're going to pick up Trigger's BNA, Brand New Animal.
Oh my god, they are.
So like
also CGI too.
Yeah. So they're like Netflix is actually just, you know, furries are us. So is being a furry now normalized and the norm? I'm down with it if it is. Because I like Beastars, so I got to go with that. Gotta rock it.
Beastars is good. It's true.
Yeah. But
Okay,
yeah,
but like seriously, I think between like it being a Netflix jail and it being like not the greatest CGI, I just
love the CGI.
I do like it, but I know a lot of people are just like turned off by CGI in general, and it's not like the smoothest ever.
I think some people were like kind of disappointed with the art style because the original manga art is so gritty looking that they couldn't, like, in their opinion, I guess, based on the visual, fully capture that. So I think that's kind of where the disconnect is, at least for some of the manga readers. But I think it is also because it's a Netflix jail and it's not a Studio Orange CGI show. Because now I think people are paying attention to those ones. So they're like, well, if Studio Orange is doing it, it's probably going to be good looking. But I do like how it looks. I think it looks mostly pretty smooth. I think it mostly captures the aesthetic. So, I mean, I'm definitely down with it. No complaints on the production front.
This is on I would say this is on the same level of Vinland Saga for me.
Like Vinland Saga CGI?
Yes.
Yeah, I think
I
that's
would say
pretty fair.
yes, but there's way more of it in this.
Yeah. But is this
Just
whole
pure
show's
CGI.
Yeah.
So it's like between that and people are just weird about CGI.
But it's not bizarre.
They are.
Yeah.
And
It's
that's good.
definitely better
Thank
than
God.
But between that and the fact that it's a Netflix jail, I just know people are going to overlook it. Like,
Yeah, definitely.
Nobody's going to watch the show, and that's so tragic.
Well, hopefully we can get a big enough fuss over it where, like, I'm hoping they'll have, like, more of those kind of, you know, viral scenes where, like, someone posts it and they're like, wow, this looks pretty cool, and they check it out.
Yeah. I hope so, too.
To be honest, I'm actually not entirely sure if I want to watch it myself, just because I just want to pick up the manga.
That was like kind of an instinct I had after the first episode where I was like, this is cool, but I feel like I'd enjoy the manga.
Well, also, the manga has
23
volumes, and they're doing 12 episodes in the anime and only 6 OVAs.
Oh,
and it's supposed to cover the entirety of the manga.
Oh, really?
No.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Yeah, that's not a good
Supposedly.
sign.
That's just what I've heard, but that's what I looked up when we talked about it on our podcast. So
No.
a lot of people are having issues with that.
Yeah, so that's kind of like set up to fail kind of thing.
Okay, so I was kind of wondering why this only has a 7.5 on Mal. I thought this show would have like an 8.6 when I watched it because it's really good. I don't know. For right now at least, it's still a good anime. I really love the soundtrack, and so this is by this group called No Name, who've done a few shows over the last few years. I've never really been on the hype train for these guys. They did the Grimgar music. If you remember that.
Yeah, I remember those insert songs.
Yeah, I didn't like them back then.
You mean the entire show of Grimgar?
Yeah, and I don't know, just never got on the hype train for these guys, but the music in this show is great. The OP's fucking awesome. Like, I don't know why.
I was surprised no one talked about the opening. I really liked it. I was really impressed with it.
The
I don't know if
opening's
it's just me, but like every show this season has a great OP. Somali,
No, I was thinking
Eizouken, I don't know. I don't remember the Inspector OP.
I like the
Hanako has a great OP.
Hanako opening, yeah. There's a lot of really aesthetic openings that really match the shows.
And the ED is god tier.
I didn't get to see it because I was trying to rush for this episode, but now I'm gonna watch it. I'm excited. That's hype. Because I haven't seen too many. I don't know if they're like super standout EDs this season, but I will take it.
Yeah, it's really
it reminds me a lot of. You remember the ED from what was that? The horny gambling show.
Kakegurui.
Yes, it reminds me a lot of the ED from Kakegurui.
Oh, that's nice.
It's funny that you mentioned that because this is the director of Kakegurui.
Oh, that's right. It is. Yeah.
This dude knows. That ED is one of like my guilty pleasures where I'm like, I don't really know if this is good, but I'm still jamming to it.
All of Kakegurui is like my guiltiest pleasure.
Yeah, that's actually Kakegurui. I don't know if this is good, but it's my guilty pleasure. Yeah. It's a great way of putting it. Yeah. I'm excited. That's hype.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good show. If you guys have like heard of it but haven't gotten to check it out, like please check it out. It's worth.
Please check it out. If you only check out one thing we've recommended that you're not watching yet, let it be Eizouken. But if you're already watching that, which you probably are, watch Dorohedoro instead. Yeah,
this one is like, I don't think the other ones are really like underwatched gems, but this one truly feels like an underwatched gem.
Yeah,
so to speak. Yeah. Yeah, so that's all we have from the shows that just premiered this time. But we do have Maz and Lisa have some interesting shows that they're checking out that they can give us a quick rundown on. Maz, what is Dendrogram?
Okay, I'm going to talk about Infinite Dendrogram and Bofuri at the same time.
Okay.
They're both isekais, and I would say they're both in separate but very important categories of isekai. Infinite Dendrogram is just a completely straight-faced isekai. Like, main character just goes and he just plays a video game. It's a VR MMO, and it's just a world where you can kind of do whatever the hell you want, which I guess is kind of interesting. It basically means that the NPCs, even though they're not like real things, they still like they can perma-die in this, even if you like fail a quest or something. Like if one person fails a quest and the NPC is just dead for the entire world. I don't know. Kind of cool.
Wow.
There was nothing like super great about it. It's just kind of generic isekai. Yet at the same time, that's kind of why I like it, because a lot of isekai right now are just like, oh, this RPG, but instead we're doing this thing. Infinite Dendrogram is just like, it's Sword Art Online, but no one dies. So
you can say it's going back to its roots.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, it's just the basics of isekai, which is, it's nice. And I don't know, there was nothing I really hated about it. Even though
that's always a win.
Yeah, even though there wasn't really anything I loved about it, although I guess the main character, like, I don't know, he has some sort of power where he summons a waifu and she calls him master, and I'm like, oh, are we really going to do this? Okay. I don't know.
But yeah, the root of isekai.
Yeah, I suppose. It's actually
it's not an isekai without one of those.
It's kind of interesting because I remember hearing about this a while back whenever people were discussing isekai light novels. This was considered to be one of the better ones, I suppose. I don't know. I am interested in reading the light novel because it's
I feel like that's one of those things I hear about every isekai that comes out. Is it's like
I was just thinking the same thing.
Because that's happened for like every single one where they're like, well, this light novel, they say this is like one of the better ones, and I've fallen for that too many times.
I did fall for that with Death March and with Shield Hero. So yeah, but this time literally no one cares about Infinite Dendrogram. I don't know. But I don't know. I'd like to read the light novel. I was supposed to, because this is actually translated by our friend Reading Steiner on Twitter. He's a cool dude. Love that guy.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he translated a lot of the Steins;Gate stuff.
Yes. He's
that's awesome.
Steiner's a bro. And
he's a bro.
I meant to do that. Instead I didn't. Instead I've been playing Magia Record, so whoops.
See where your loyalty lies.
Yeah, I don't know. This is a good 5 out of 10 normal isekai. Hooray. And then I said it's the other category of isekai is like, we're doing this RPG, but instead this thing is happening, and that's Bofuri. It's Final Fantasy, except the main character just emphasizes defense and doesn't take damage. I watched like 10 minutes of it, and I'm like, okay, I get it. You're done. I don't want to watch you anymore.
He emphasizes defense like some sort of shield hero or something.
Yeah.
So here's the light novel title. It's Bofuri. I don't want to get hurt, so I'll max out my defense. And then the synonyms are, I hate being in pain, so I think I'll make a defense build. Or I hate getting hurt, so I put all my skill points into defense.
Yeah.
That's where we're at.
And that's just what the show is. I don't know.
It's such a thought process. Like, they didn't even they're like, I kind of hate being in pain, so I think I'll make my full defense build. So casual about it. Yeah. But
sorry.
Those sounds.
What's that?
When you die in the Discord chat, you die in real life.
Yeah.
So yeah, that sounds interesting. It doesn't sound interesting, but I don't want to be mean.
There wasn't anything wrong with it. It's just, again, you watch like 10 minutes of it and you kind of decide whether or not it's something for you, because you know exactly what it is, where it's going.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah, I know that feel.
There's literally one of these shows coming out every season now, so I'm good.
Are you just gonna sit this one out?
Yes.
It's like I'm gonna head out. Yeah. But we do have one of these shows every season. This is something we can all get behind, and that is Heya Camp Triangle.
Hell yeah. New Triangle show.
Our new Triangle show, praise be. I'm not watching it because Rin's not in it. Sorry.
She's in it.
Is she in it? I thought Rin wasn't in it, and that was the thing.
I guess it's I guess she's a side character this time. It's instead about Nadeshiko and the other two girls who fucking suck. I don't like them at all. But I do like Nadeshiko a lot, so this is watchable.
She's cute.
It's 3 minutes long.
Okay, I can do that. I can do that.
That's it. I'm just glad that it exists so that I can just say Heya Camp Triangle, and that's it.
Heya Camp Triangle.
# triangle memes.
Hell yes.
Yeah. So please watch that to support our memes.
That's it. There's nothing else to say about it.
That's it. So we do have Lisa, did you want to talk about your hidden gem of the season?
I mean, there's not much to say. Oda Cinnamon Nobunaga is basically about, I guess, Oda Nobunaga. Is that how you say his name?
Yeah.
Yeah. He dies and gets reincarnated into a Shiba. And then he ends up running into a bunch of other dogs that are reincarnated samurai and warriors. And currently, all I'm doing is waiting for Sagita to pop up. That's really just it. His shining moment, and then I'm done with the show. That's really all I have to say.
Full-length show, or is it a short?
No,
it's a full-length show.
It's on Crunchyroll, too.
Wow.
So this is really just a Gintama arc.
Yeah, but it's not that funny.
Oh.
That's why I was like,
No.
the whole time I'm watching, I'm like, the voice actor does not fit the dog's voice like anybody does. But like the whole time I'm just like, there needs to be more Gintama actors in there to make this funny. And then I was like, he is going to be in it. Don't worry. It's like, okay, I'm not going to watch it. And then when his scene pops up, I will. And then that's it.
I was thinking of doing like a binge of all Hijikata anime, like everyone that he's in, because they have that like that reverse harem one. Then they have him in like Drifters, which I've actually seen. But I was like, do I just go around and watch Hijikata in all of anime? And I don't know if I'm going to do that now.
You don't want to see him as a dog?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I was like, do I want to go this far? Do I? But I don't know. It sounds kind of cute. Like, it sounds like a cute concept, but if it's not actually that funny, that's kind of sad.
Yeah, it's all right. It's not worth it, in my opinion.
Oda Nobunaga is like the isekai of historical figures in Japan, where it's like every season you have to have Oda Nobunaga, but he's doing this thing.
I will say, though, I actually do have to go.
Okay, I just wanted to talk about Haikyuu real quick.
Okay, sorry. I just realized like what time it was. And
I have
to be somewhere at 8.
No, I'm sorry. You can just talk about Haikyuu real quick, and then I guess the three of us can like follow up on the last one, which works.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, so of course the big show of the season is Haikyuu season 4. I know everyone here except Maz has seen it. I'm going crazy over it. I don't probably need to say anything more about it, but loving it. We're living for it. What do you guys think?
I love the new character designs. A lot of people were critical, but it's like it is supposed to match Furudate's like art style, so I don't get why they would be mad. But I feel like they all look more mature, you know, especially after season 3. So I don't know, I really like it, and I don't know what to expect because I haven't read the manga, so I just love it because it's Haikyuu. I'll watch anything Haikyuu.
I feel that deeply.
If people hadn't like flipped out about it, I wouldn't have even noticed the new character designs. So anybody who's like legit upset about it is definitely overreacting.
It's better in my opinion, but yeah, people will complain about anything in anime.
Yeah, I can definitely see why people would complain if they're just kind of like, you know, I just want the same thing because like I fell in love with this thing, so I want it to be the same. But I definitely don't think it's a downgrade by any means. I think it's just as good, and I can see it being better. Because it's just as expressive. It looks just like the manga designs. And like, you know, honestly, after a bit, even mentally knowing that it's different designs, I forget completely. And I'm like, yep, this is just it.
Yeah,
this is how it looks. Yeah. So not a big complaint by any means. Probably still shouldn't be a complaint. And I haven't seen people complain. So that's always a good sign for me. But I'm very excited about this. Very excited to see this one and then see the second season. Well, it's kind of like the split core. So it's like the second core of it in summer. So I'm excited. I'm thriving. The memes are happening. They're great. We're living for it.
Yes.
Yeah. So we can talk about the next ones, and we can let you go, Lisa. Thank you for staying with us. I'm sorry we kept you.
No, it's totally fine. But yeah, this was really fun though.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. We'll have
I'll take anything where I can talk about anime. I'll take it. So
cool. We're gonna ask you to come back for the end of the season. So
yeah,
we'll do that.
Great.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Yeah,
joining us.
Of course, you can plug me later or whatever.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'll
Thank you
follow
for
up with
having
you.
me on.
Thanks for joining us.
Of course, you guys have a good rest of your call.
Thanks.
Yeah, you too.
Have a good night.
All right.
Peace.
I feel bad keeping her so long and just keep talking, but okay. Well, I will continue on with Railgun. Are you guys cool if I do like a quick thing on it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go for it.
Okay. So I guess my show to talk about that no one else has seen is Railgun T. And I feel like the whole Rail Deck series has been kind of memed to death because it's a JC Staff series, and JC Staff has been kind of butchering every adaptation lately because Index 3 was not good, apparently.
The adaptations that people actually care about.
Yeah.
Things like Magica and Mizoku are actually pretty good.
That, and then like apparently what's a stupid, I know this one, what's the one with the ribbon lolly whatever, what's a stupid one, dungeon, the stupid, the most popular Don Machi. Why couldn't I remember that? Yeah, so apparently that looked good too, but I was like waiting to see. I was like, are they gonna butcher Railgun, because Railgun has always been their best looking series in my opinion, and it has a lot of like intense action scenes, so I'm like, what are they gonna do? And then as soon as I saw the first episode, I'm like, yep, they put all the resources into Railgun, as they should, because it's going to sell the most. So it's looking good. And it looks like they're going to adapt it well, too, because that was a big problem with Index, where they just like adapted like a light novel every 2 episodes and everyone hated it. So it looks like they're going to do a good job with this, which has always been the kind of weird case with the Rail Deck series, where like Index is the main series and they do a shitty job adapting it. And then Railgun is the spin-off series and they do a great job adapting it. So it's a weird situation, but me and Fate have been talking about it a lot. We're hyped for this. It's going to be that like sequel show that like only the fans talk about and everyone else is like, I don't want to watch it because I don't want to get into it, but it's going to be pretty solid. So I appreciate it. Yeah. So if you are like a Railgun fan and you're, I don't know if I want to watch it because JC Staff sucks. No, definitely check it out. It's very good. Very Kino. Go watch.
I think people just care about this one more because everyone loves Misaka.
Yeah, okay. This was a thing. I forgot just how big she is, but do you know that the Chinese equivalent of YouTube is named after her?
Yes.
Yeah, Berry, yeah.
Yeah. So, well, I kind of wanted you guys to not know that to build up the excitement. This works that you guys actually know this.
Well, did you know that apparently this new season has been watched 100 million times already in China?
I was like, is that like bots or is it like actually happening?
Does China actually have real people?
Does China have real people?
It's not this season. It's just Railgun. In
China's pretty sparsely populated, right?
Yeah, they only have a few of them. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense if it was like all of the seasons, because I can see that instead of it being like, yeah, they just watched the 2 episodes 100 million times. That would be crazy. Yeah, that's actually insane. And I wouldn't be surprised if they are botting just a little. But yeah, it's
based
ridiculous.
On experience.
Yeah, based on my experience with Chinese botting. Best girl contest soon, TM. But yeah, that's like actually insane that it's just watched so much. Because I was talking with Fate about this, and I'm like, who is low-key a more influential anime character, Saber or Misaka? I always want to call her Mikasa because of stupid Attack on Titan. God damn it! Like, and he's like, well, Fate Go helped fund Buri, so I'm like, so Saber walked so Mikasa could run, and then Fate got mad.
That's really funny.
I'm like, Fate, you like her too, and he's like, stop. So we love Biri, good stuff. I read instead of watching episodes for this episode like I should have, I kind of binged the manga, so good stuff to come. Hopefully I'll be able to convince you guys to somehow watch it, but probably not happening if you haven't already been invested in the series.
Yeah, probably not happening.
Yeah, probably not. But something people are invested in, weirdly enough, is the GOAT sequel that we can all agree on is Isekai Quartet 2. So, as you guys know, Maz has made a video on Isekai Quartet 2, and it has received universal acclaim. No one has an issue with it at all. Like, no one has left a mean comment ever.
Yeah,
except
I said it's a terrible, uncreative show, and then Isekai Quartet did me a favor by making a sequel where they add a 5th show and still call it Isekai Quartet.
It bothers me so much. Just change the title. Make it Isekai Quintet.
How hard would that have been?
I don't know. Are they
It
like no one's gonna
requires them to
recognize
have
it?
any amount of thought or creativity, so a lot.
Like, I just can't believe. I just
Quote
can't.
myself about the first season of Isekai Quartet. Its wit has never been equaled. Surpassed often, but never equaled.
I love that. I'm looking at your video, Maz, and right in the corner is a Scamboli Reviews video saying Isekai Quartet is actually entertaining.
Yeah,
and
of course it's Scamboli.
Scamboli trying to Scamboli the shit out of his. Oh no. But no, like, some people actually like it, and like, I kind of get it in the sense that, you know, sometimes people just like seeing things they like, even if they're not presented well. Or good. I'm trying to be nice. It's not working. We're just going to read mean comments from Maz's video. If you like Isekai Quartet Season 2, please skip. We're skipping the season, so please skip this section.
I put out a follow-up.
My favorite toxic comment from the first video is, "You just have bad taste. I bet you like JoJo."
That's my
I mean, where is the lie?
Yeah, where is the lie? I love that one. I was going to save that one for last, but that one's too good. My favorite is the one where someone just says, Isekai Quartet is good, actually. And then Maz says, shit, guess that settles it. I'm going to delete the channel, BRB. So that's like the only response you can have for that is like, well, you are wrong. Well, okay, good point. We're done. But the real question is, Maz, what is your favorite toxic comment from your video?
It's a good question. I don't know. I think I like just the one in my initial pinned comment where I'm just like, thanks for the 50% dislikes, everyone. And then someone just came in and said, fuck you. This other one is good. I came on your video literally to dislike. I didn't even watch it, and I didn't even care to watch it. It took me a fat minute to dislike and to comment. You spent hours working on the script, making the video, and editing its shit. Big oof on your part. Hashtag less than 1,000 subs, gang.
Well, Maz, you aren't witty or intelligent. Instead, you're a sour little man appeasing your inflated ego by criticizing things that most other people enjoy.
Again, where is the lie?
That's just like, I feel like out of all the things, inflated ego is not something you should ever call mom. That just feels so inaccurate. Like,
also, courtesy again of our good friend Colonel Panic. Nice autofocus.
I wanted to say that one.
Oh my god. Well, we have had more of a laugh at the comments for your video than the actual show. So I think that's a win in and of itself.
That's why I haven't disabled comments.
Yeah, so that's a win. This season is just so weird, right?
I love this season.
Like, in a good way. I meant that as a good thing. Like, it's the weirdest season we've had in a while. And that, like, we haven't actually been able to meme on that many shows because they're all just, like, these weird niche shows that have almost nothing in common, and we can barely describe them. Well, we do describe them, but I can barely describe them.
Yeah. I just love that one of the more controversial things this whole season so far is Gigex saying, I don't like this season. I don't have anything to watch. And it's like, well, fuck you, man.
I felt bad about my tweet about that, just to TBH. Do be honest. That was too much. Yeah. I don't know. I kind of feel for him because, like, I was that guy when, like, a popular season aired and I was like, I don't like this. And then it's like, well, have you tried this? And it's like, yeah, I have, but I still don't like it. And it's like, oh, okay, bye. But, like, I feel for him, but it's just like one of those seasons where every little thing is like a unique thing that you can't make like huge clickbait videos about, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess that is a way to look at it. Not a lot of like video worthy material, unless you want to do like a straight faced thing. Like, I kind of want to do a video about Somali and why I really like it, even though I don't like relaxing sorts of anime.
That would be a good video though. But that's not a clickbait video.
Yeah.
You can't even clickbait anyone into being like, ooh, this pissed me off. I'm gonna watch this now. Like, I think everyone would just be fine. Like, yeah, this is a good video.
Yeah.
And
just
when you look
at a couple more weeks and soon we'll be getting the like top 10 anime easy breezy edits.
Yeah.
True.
I would be down with that. I would love
to. No, but I'm actually like super excited for when that starts happening. So
yeah.
My favorite easy breezy edit so far is Panic's, where he
So he put it out the day before the full version of the OP came out, and so he titled the video "Full OP," and it's like it plays as normal, but when the verse starts and it goes like he just loops that for the entire like 3 minutes of the video.
The thing that's crazy about it is he doesn't even like just loop it. It's like it's weird.
It's this proper sequence, and it's like why did you put effort into this?
Yeah.
Gotta love Panic. Everyone check out Colonel Panic's channel.
Yes, check
He's
out
our
the Nutcast. He made the intro for this, I think.
We'll find out.
We'll find out, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is I love this season a lot, actually. I've only tried out 13 shows so far. 9 of them are well, maybe 8 of them. I don't know about Dorohedoro, even though I love it. But yeah, it's like 8 or 9 shows are comfortably on my watching list, which is a lot more than I can say about most seasons in the past.
Yeah, I'm really excited for it. There are so many shows where we're like, this is good, and we want it to stay being good.
Yeah. I like most seasons I usually have to like stretch to pick up things to like fill out my roster so I can talk about them on the podcast. And then like not actually into a good amount of them. I had a little bit of stretching to do this season, but I haven't actually started watching anything I don't like. And I legit don't think there's ever been a season like that for me before.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same. I'm just so impressed by how unique so many of these premises are. And like art styles, like everything has its own distinct, identity.
Right.
That's so weird. Like you'd think this is the norm, but like there's not that much that like feels the same. That's good. It's cool.
Something I've noticed is that it feels like winter is just the season for anime now. I don't know if you guys have felt this way, but the last
you could be right.
The last several years, winter has always been like the biggest. Like remember last winter when we had like 5 huge shows airing all at once?
Yeah, that was a big deal. That was the season. I still think it is the season. Wait, this offends me. More people have watched Shield Hero than Neverland. Fuck you guys. God damn it. God damn it. No. But okay, just for context on like how big the shows were last season compared to this one. And I know like a full year has gone by, so, take it with a grain of salt. But like there's 3 shows that are above 450,000 users watching them. And this one, the biggest show is Haikyuu with 150,000 people watching them. Everything else is sub 100,000.
Yeah.
So it's like pretty tiny, all things considered, which is probably why Giguk is having a tough time making a video. Which means he has to watch Haikyuu and make a video on it, and he can't clickbait it for his videos anymore. It's the only option.
I guess a comparison is that summer 2018, just a random example, there's one show that has more than 450,000, which is Attack on Titan.
Interesting.
Maybe it's because this season has no like big crowd pleasers that everyone is like focused on Eizouken.
Yeah. And that's really
which
cool.
is like, yeah.
And the thing is, Eizouken had no hype going. I literally didn't even know Yuasa was doing a show this season until it came out.
Same.
Yeah, same. Yeah, it's really interesting to see.
But everybody just hears like 5 seconds of the OP and they're like, this is the show.
Yep.
This is it.
I just love that OP so much. Like, just what a way to start off the OP with like the faces all bending around.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is perfect, dude.
I love it.
The animation in the OP is very Kaiba.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. I love it. I love this season.
Yeah. And there are so many good OPs again. I can't believe how many good. Like every single time I've started a new OP, I'm like, yep, this is OP of the season. I don't even know what my favorite one is.
I don't think I have one.
Like I love Somali. I don't remember the runway one. I don't think I've seen it. Dorohedoro had a great one.
Yeah. I like the railgun one.
Pet had a good one. We didn't talk about Pet, but yeah. Even My Hero Academia is going to have a really good one because it's by Kanabun, who's one of my favorite bands. So yeah, just like every show has a good OP this season.
So hyped for them. To see the other ones I haven't seen yet. This is so cool. This is cool to see. Can you imagine a season where we don't complain about how bad the season is?
Yep.
Wow.
Amazing.
Well, yeah, and
New decade,
new me. Oh my god. Well, this has been a fun time too. I think we actually have also kept the podcast under 2 hours. So
it's around 2 hours, yeah.
Yeah. So we've done a good job of pacing ourselves, watching a lot of good shows. This season has done a good job of providing good shows for us to watch. And we got to have a great talk. So that's all we have for now. Thank you everyone for listening, especially if you're listening this far in. We were so great to have Lisa join us. And we hope that you guys will follow up with us at the end of the season when we do the retrospective of the season. Hopefully it's as good as we thought it is now. But yeah, thank you for listening. Thank you, Sinris. Thank you, Maz. Thank you, Lisa.
Follow us on Twitter. Follow Lisa on Twitter.
Yeah, we will.
Listen to Kawaii 5-0.
Kawaii 5-0. Great name, great podcast. And links will be in the bio. So thanks, everyone, and have a good night.
Peace. True, motherfuckers. Got him.
Lisa Allen.
Wallen.
What? No.
Off to a great start.
You can't even pronounce in English.
It's okay.
I was like, where'd the W go? Can I redo that? Can I do another take?
Of course.
Do we just like, and then you're editing, you're like, nope, I'm leaving that in.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to do it in case Maz will let me take this more serious one in. Okay.